How many coincidences does it take for it to no longer be coincidence? The psychedelic subculture uses a word a lot called synchronicity. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of that word. And to me, a synchronicity is a meaningful coincidence. It's it's an event that coincides with um, another event simultaneously in a way that you see meaning in it. Um, sure, a lot of you guys know that when you take psychedelic substances, these entheogens, synchronicities often happen. Um, just crazy, unexpected things will happen when you're tripping, or yeah, you'll run into somebody you completely did not expect, or you'll come across a an odd, out of the ordinary situation, and so on and so forth. I'm going to talk about something that I don't expect a lot of you to believe, but it's the concept of spirit animals. Going down the rabbit hole. Going down the rabbit hole is metaphorical for uncovering weird truths, or seeing how strange reality really is. Um, Exploring the mystery. Um, Alice in Wonderland is where where the where it originated from, I believe, and they use it in the Matrix. And you guys have heard the expression. So rabbits. Back in high school, one early spring, my family and I were getting our pool ready for the summer. And under our deck, we keep the stairs that goes into the pool for the winter. I guess I don't know why we do that, but we keep the stairs under the deck. And then when it's time to open up, we take the stairs out from under the deck and put them in our pool. So one early spring, we moved the steps, and underneath was a nest of baby rabbits, a rabbit hole. I think there was like 3 or 4, maybe 5 rabbits. I don't quite recall. But anyways, I come home from school one day, and it had been cold out and drizzling all day. And I go to check on these rabbits, and their nest had been flooded. They were all they were all outside of their nest. Their fur was wet, and they were shivering. The nest was flooded. And I was with my friend, and we decided to build them a little fire. And slowly but surely, their furs started to dry off, and they stopped shivering. And it was really adorable watching the look of relief come over their faces, and they just looked so warm and comforted and relieved. Flash forward a few years from that story, the same friend and I were, it was nighttime, and we were walking out of the woods towards this parking lot. And a noise from the parking lot catches our attention. As we look to it, we see two animals chasing each other. And they were making squeaking noises the way It was the closest thing I've heard to those squeaking noises is the way that guinea pigs squeak. And they were chasing each other towards us, and we were walking towards them. As we got closer, my friend and I could not believe our eyes. They were rabbits. But not only were they were rabbits the size of deer, at least. Humongous. They were impossibly large. It defied all logic. I went on the internet and I looked. There's no rabbits that get that big. And I know that sounds crazy, but he says he saw the same thing. It was like something slipped out of the Twilight Zone. It's like a Bigfoot sighting or UFO. It's like like an alternate reality like pours into this reality or something, or like time streams intersect or something weird. And hey, I don't expect all you guys to believe that, but I know my own eyes and I know what I saw. They were rabbits as big as deer, and they passed us and went into the woods, and I've never seen anything like that ever again in my life. As crazy as it sounds. Flash forward a few more years. A different friend and I had bought some Amanita muscaria extract. And for those of you that don't know, Amanita muscaria is the cliche mushroom depicted with psychedelic drugs, and it's the Mario mushroom. You see it in all sorts of artwork. It's the red mushroom. It's the mushroom with the red cap, and it has white polka dots and the white stem. They grow under pine trees, and they can be found all along the northern part of this country, especially like the Pacific Northwest or whatever. They're not they're psychoactive, but they're not psilocybin containing mushrooms. Not what people generally think of when they say magic mushrooms. It contains mucimol and ibotenic acid. Those are people say it's more of a delirium. But anyways, we had taken this extract earlier in the day and it had not worked for us. We hardly felt anything. So later that night, we decide to freebase the rest, and we're outside this other kid's house freebasing this extract, and there was this fence, and out came a rabbit from around the fence, and it hopped right up to us. I'd say it was about 2 feet from my friend and I, and it just sat there for 5 minutes. And it was just so meaningful that a rabbit, the animal used for the metaphor going down the rabbit hole, or the saying, or whatever you call it, it just sat there for 5 minutes while we were smoking this cliche mushroom. Flash forward a few more years. Last year, actually, I built this raised garden bed, and in part of the raised garden bed, I had a shamanic plant. That's all I will call it. But I was going through my garden one day, and there's this big patch of these plants, and I noticed that there was a hole, and some of the plants have been ripped up. I'm sure you guys know where I'm already going with this, but it was a rabbit's hole. Of all the places in that garden, or anywhere in that neighborhood that rabbit could have picked to put a rabbit hole and have 3 baby rabbits, it picked like the most perfect plant to put the rabbit hole amongst those roots. Like it's such a meaningful, it's so perfect. I took that as such a sign. It was really touching. It really meant a lot to me. It was magical, meaningful. Life has meaning. Okay, so last story. This year, early spring, about like 2 weeks ago, I was getting my garden ready for the summer. and I looked at the raised bed where the rabbit hole had been last year, and on the side of that same raised bed, the way the wood had faded, was a picture of a rabbit, and just it hit me like just another beautiful sign. So my point is, how many coincidences does it take for it to no longer be coincidence? How many crazy things have to happen for people to realize that there's meaning, that life has meaning, that life has purpose, that there's higher powers and things we cannot explain? And for me, I guess in a way, I would call rabbits a kind of spirit animal for me. And I have a feeling I'll have more stories to come as I travel down this road and go deeper down my own rabbit hole. But anyways, guys, it's just an interesting story for you guys. Oh wait, let's see if this deer comes into the river up here. Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in. Yep, see him? See her? Is that her? It's a doe. Yeah, this is a great spot. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. I'm gonna put a link to my Instagram down in the description, so if you guys want to see those rabbits, and also I'm trying to build my name with my artwork. So if you guys check that out, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I love you all, and I'll catch you later.